everyone, today's video is going to be a tortoise enclosure tour, and I've been meaning to do one for absolutely ages. It's been quite a highly requested video. So I will just pop Sheldon in so you can see her wandering round. So Sheldon is my 5-year-old Herman tortoise. So she's still quite young and she's definitely not fully grown yet. She lives in this 2x4 tortoise table, which isn't an ideal size, to be honest. She really needs an upgrade soon. This is kind of the minimum size for a young juvenile tortoise. It's not ideal, but yeah, we're planning on building her a bigger one soon. So yeah, it's an open-topped table which is perfect for her species, and it's just got kind of a bedroom area under there which we keep pretty bare. To be honest, she doesn't really use it, so I think when we get a new one we'll just miss that off completely because it's kind of just taking up space. But in theory she can burrow in there. We've made it a bit deeper, substrate in there so she can burrow around. But she's not really a burrower. She does make shallow scrapes kind of to cool off and regulate her temperature and fluid loss, but she's not really a digger, because I often get comments about how shallow her substrate is. It's not very deep. She's got a mound in the middle, but it's probably only sort of that deep, but she's really not a digger, so I've kind of just given up. There's no sense in using twice as much substrate if she's not even touching it. So while she has a mooch around, I'll just show you what she's got in here. So to start off with, she does have a mercury vapour bulb, which is both heat and UV light. I used to do them separately, but I've recently found quite a good combined bulb, which I think provides quite a good light spectrum, and it gets her temperatures up. It's the Arcadia D3. I think we've got the 100 watt in here, but yeah, I find that this works really well for getting the right temperatures in her enclosure. I'll probably need to up the wattage when I get a bigger setup for her, but we'll come to that bridge when we cross it. So I do replace the bulbs every 6 months just to ensure a continuous UV output, and just to check, you know, that she's got the UV that she needs as well as the heat. So she's just got some dandelions there as a treat, along with some other weeds that we've picked her from our garden. I do have a tortoise diet video on my channel if you wanted to check that out, aimed at Mediterranean species like Herman, Horsfields, etc. So I'll start over in this corner. She has a cuttlefish or cuttlebone, which is a good source of calcium for them. They can munch it if they would like. It also helps to keep their beak trimmed down, because tortoises' beaks can become overgrown, and Sheldon really likes these, so we do get through quite a few of these. We've just got a yellow plant pot here and a pinky purple one, which I got from my local garden centre. Here we've got a little pot which I've planted some spider plants in. These are live plants, which are, there's only a few different plants which you can really keep in tortoise tables and which are hardy enough to kind of survive. Sheldon does trample these and kind of ruin them, but I can just whip them out and plant some more in, which is why they're in their separate little thing, and so I can water them to keep them alive without getting the rest of the substrate wet. So that's kind of my plan. This is a recent development, so we'll see how that goes, but spider plants do have lots and lots of babies, so it means I've got a constant supply of new plants to whack in there for her. It just makes, I think, it a bit more interesting. I've already got artificial plants in here, but I quite like her to have some real plants as well. So she's got a water bowl here, and it is essential that tortoises have fresh water available at all times, the same as any other animal. We've got this artificial plant here and this artificial cactus, and I like how this creates a bit more of an interesting environment for them. If they've just got a flat, boring tortoise table with nothing really in it, they're going to get bored, so it's nice for them to have things to clamber around and climb over. Sheldon's particularly adventurous and loves climbing. So here we've got, it's not a feeding slate, it's actually a floor tile. My friend recently tiled her house and I stole one of these offcuts, but it works in a similar sort of way. It means that when she's standing on there munching away at her food, that she will scratch her nails down. It also means if she drops her food and then picks it up and starts to eat it, she's not going to ingest as much substrate as she would if she just dropped it straight on the soil and then put it in her mouth. She would be eating quite a lot of soil, which I don't want to cause problems. I mean, potentially it could cause a blockage or something, and I just don't really want that. Seems to be struggling with that dandelion a little bit. Bless her. She'll work it out in a minute. So yeah, that's our equivalent of a feeding slate. She's then got this sort of bowl. All of her bowls are kind of this naturally design, which I got from my local pet shop, which has a reptile section. These ones all came from online, I believe Swell Reptiles they came from, along with the bulb. So here she has a mound in the middle just to make another kind of surface, just to make it a bit more interesting for her. And my boyfriend thought it would be funny to make it Egg Mountain. So we have an egg in the top of here. Don't ask me why, he is a strange man. So coming down here we have just a big rock which we've partly buried because it does have some sharp edges, and she used to love climbing up on the top and then kind of scraping down the side, which I thought probably really wasn't very good for her underside. So I have buried that in there, so she's still going to climb all over it and scratch her nails down, but she's hopefully not going to scratch her shell on it. And again here the same thing, we've got lots of different rocks and different surfaces for her to climb on, and also to keep her nails down. I get a lot of comments of people asking how I cut my tortoise's nails, and I don't cut them, I just make sure that she scratches them down. I can also put her out on my patio on a nice day, and that scratches down her nails. I like to keep them filed down naturally rather than trying to cut her nails. I don't think they need it, because their nails seem to grow really, really slowly, so I just, yeah, let her scratch them down herself. And she's also got this multicoloured kind of fiddlesticks bridge here, which used to belong to my small animals, my guinea pigs, but yeah, they didn't really use it. They kind of got a bit fat for it, really. So this is now being donated to Sheldon, and it's kind of got quite faded in the light, but again, it's something else for her to do. She likes going underneath and sleeping, and she also likes climbing up on top sometimes, so that's quite funny to watch. She is very adventurous. And then again here we've got a smaller version of this, but half buried in there, so it just makes a bit of a divider to her setup, because again, if it was just flat, she just marches up and down and gets quite bored. But hopefully this way, you know, she can go around it and it makes it a bit more interesting for her. So that's about it. Like I said, there's nothing in there, it's just deep substrate. So that's it for Sheldon's setup. It will hopefully be upgraded quite soon. It's just I want to save up, to be honest, and invest. Either build one myself or invest in a nice custom made one that will last her the rest of her life. So yeah, I'm kind of saving up for that one, to be honest, but hopefully it will be upgraded soon, because this has got a little bit small for her. But she does go out in the garden all day on nice days, and on not so nice days she has a run around the entire house as well. So she does get a lot of exercise, so don't worry about that. She could do with a bath again, actually. She needs a soak later. She's looking a bit dusty. She comes out such beautiful colours when she has a soak. But there she is, enjoying her weeds. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!